You know, when you walk into an intensive care unit or like you look at a nurse's workstation, you kind of expect everything to look like it belongs on a spaceship.
Oh, absolutely.
Right, like tubes, flashing lights, incredibly complex machines with displays that look, well, entirely alien.
The whole environment just screams hyper-specialized and, critical.
Exactly. But then you look closely at the computer monitors, and they just look like, well, monitors.
Yeah, just regular screens.
The exact same black plastic rectangles we all have sitting on our home office desks right now. So today we are doing a deep dive into the Hall Technologies HT-HVM24 24-inch medical HD monitor to find out why a basic 1080p screen requires a near $1,000 price tag.
Yeah, and rigorous certification.
Right. Plus an instruction manual focused almost entirely on what the monitor doesn't do.
It is fascinating because we really have to redefine our expectations of performance here. I mean, it's easy to look at the outside and assume it is just a standard display.
Sure.
But the engineering inside tells a completely different story.
Because looking at the spec sheet, I am honestly genuinely confused.
I bet.
It is a 1920 by 1080 native resolution at 60 Hz. It has a 16.9 aspect ratio, HDMI and DVI video inputs, and built-in stereo speakers.
Very standard stuff, yeah.
Right. So what is stopping a clinic from just driving to a big box store, grabbing a $150 monitor, and pocketing the difference?
Well, in a high-pressure setting, think like an emergency room or maybe a 12-hour shift at a patient monitoring station. The goal isn't gaming-level frame rates.
No 8K cinematic immersion, right?
Exactly. Medical professionals need to interpret critical workflows and patient data quickly. So a 1080p resolution provides the exact vibrant, sharp clarity they need to prevent visual fatigue over those extremely long shifts.
Okay, but if the resolution itself isn't revolutionary, there has to be a physical difference in the hardware. I mean, the clinic isn't paying for extra pixels.
No, they aren't. What they're paying for are global medical certifications, specifically ICEN 6060101 and 6060112.
Okay, wow, quite a mouthful.
It is. But those guarantee strict electromagnetic compatibility, or EMC, alongside really rigorous electrical safety.
Because every screen emits invisible radio frequencies, right?
Exactly, yeah.
So a standard consumer monitor leaks enough electronic noise that it could, like, literally scramble the wireless signal on a nearby EKG machine.
Which is a huge problem.
So these certifications basically mean the monitor is built with internal shielding, like a high-tech Faraday cage that traps its own noise so it doesn't accidentally shut off a ventilator.
Yeah, the internal shielding is non-negotiable in an ICU.
Yeah.
But, it is not just the hardware shielding. It is also about protecting the interface. Take the on-screen display lock, for example.
Oh, that actually stood out to me because it is just a settings menu, right?
Yeah.
So why is locking the brightness and contrast so important that it is highlighted as a key feature?
Well, think about how doctors read diagnostics. If someone accidentally bumps the monitor or, say, unauthorized tampering changes the contrast setting, that could literally alter how a medical scan is read.
Wait, really? Just the contrast?
Oh, absolutely. A faint shadow on an X-ray could disappear entirely just because the brightness was cranked up a few notches.
Oh my gosh, a slip finger changing a diagnosis.
Yeah,
That makes the settings menu as critical as a scalpel.
exactly. And locking those settings once they are properly configured is just a vital safeguard for patient safety.
Okay, so the hospital is paying for an invincible settings menu and, like, electrical shielding, but $990.
I know, it sounds like a lot.
I mean, even with the 15% discount code Hall Tech offers, almost $1,000 for a 1080p screen seems incredibly steep.
Right.
I could buy 3 high-end gaming monitors for that. How does a hospital justify that kind of math?
Well, you have to counter that sticker shock by looking at the hardware's endurance. This monitor boasts a lifespan of greater than 50,000 hours and includes a 3-year warranty.
Wait, 50,000 hours?
Okay.
So if a monitor is running 247, that is nearly 6 years of continuous use.
Pretty much.
That is like leaving a car engine running nonstop for 6 years without a single stall.
That is exactly the point.
Yeah.
I mean, in a hospital environment, the return on investment isn't measured in pixels per dollar.
Yeah.
It is measured in guaranteed zero-fail uptime.
Right.
Because if a standard consumer monitor fails in a home office, you can't play a game or finish a spreadsheet.
True.
But if a monitor fails at a nurse's workstation,
It is an emergency.
exactly.
So what does this all mean for you listening? It means that with medical tech, the most important features are the ones designed to be completely invisible.
Yeah, it is not about flash. It is about rigorous safety standards, shielding, and, unshakable consistency.
Right. That basic-looking black plastic rectangle isn't just a monitor. It is a silent, certified partner in patient care.
Perfectly said.
So next time you are in a healthcare facility, look at those screens around you and ask yourself, as AI starts diagnosing us directly from these monitors, how much tighter will these invisible safety standards have to become?